Hi you guys, this morning I was going to do a go live, but I really need you guys to subscribe, and I also need to get a new cell phone. So please help me out with that. Subscribe, like, comment, check out my website if you want to help get me some more support before I buy some new technology. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to put all those links below. Also find that red bell and click on it so that you are notified every time I put up a new video. And I'm looking forward to getting more motivated and doing some more editing techniques for you guys. I'm just getting started, so please help me out so I can share more. Right now I am outside of my Ed Lee building. It's where I currently live. It's a building that was named after a mayor from San Francisco who passed away. He had a heart attack. It was terrible. He was in a Safeway one day and we lost him. So this is a memorial building for him. It's also a building that is for disabled veterans like myself and low-income housing, something the city agreed upon. I'm gonna take you guys upstairs to my apartment. Dubious, here you go, boy. Just waiting on the elevator. Good morning.
Good morning.
Come on. All right, now we have the elevator to ourselves. They're still padding on the wall because everybody's still moving in. It is, again, a brand new building, and we're all really grateful for it. Dubious and I just finished our morning walk. I'm sure he would have liked to go a bit longer, but I had planned on doing a go live at 10 o'clock this morning, so I'm sticking to that time schedule. I was a little bit disappointed though when I read all the requirements and that I don't fulfill them. Pretty bummed out. I know I will though, and I'll be able to provide a better product for you guys. I'll put my link down below for my Facebook so you can follow me on there. I can do go lives on there, and I'm looking into the Instagram and TikTok. Also follow me on Snapchat. Here we are in my apartment. I love my orange door. Just love orange. And I'm gonna let go of Dubious here. Ooh, if I can get this off of my wrist. It's stuck to my bracelet. And take off this silly mask. Jesus. Let's take off his vest too. Say hello to the camera. Say hello to everybody. He's so happy. He knows when he comes home from his walk that he gets fed. What a happy boy. So let's get his plate. Get some light in here. Might even crack the windows for some fresh air. The other day it was pretty windy, and when I opened up the windows, it was like the opposite of a wind tunnel. It was like all the air came out of my building. It was weird. Even my door shut different. I actually talked to maintenance and was like, hey, my door's not working quite right. And then they came up here after I figured it out. It was because my windows had been opened. So let's open those guys up. Oh, that feels so good to get some fresh air in here. So here is Dubious's plate. I left his special dish at his grandparents'. I was staying with my parents when this pandemic became a little bit out of hand a couple months ago, and they like shut down my college and I couldn't go to class anymore. There were a couple things that were going on where I was just concerned. Even like walking Dubious outside, I got concerned. So my parents came and picked me up, and I stayed with them for a couple months. Look at how much food he gets. He's so spoiled. So here is Dubious's breakfast. Oh, no patience, big boy. And I left a couple things there. No big deal. But I did hear this morning that some of the numbers in San Francisco have actually doubled. I don't know what they were before, but doubling numbers is never good. So I may have to leave again, depending on what my parents say. I'm gonna give them a call after finishing this video and let them know what I heard. I'm also gonna wash my hands. I might have wanted to do that before feeding Julius, but we digress. wash your hands, guys. Wash them, give them at least like 10, 30 seconds. 30 seconds can be a bit excessive, but if you read up on washing hands, I think it's like 10 to 15 seconds is plenty efficient for washing. I like to make sure I get underneath my nails if I have free edge. Clip your nails, get healthy, stay healthy. No more sickness from this pandemic. We're all getting through it together, right? So, I am done washing my hands, and I fed Dubia, so I should probably feed myself too. I think I'm gonna make some eggs this morning. Normally I make a smoothie, and I got a brand new blender. My dad got it for me. Funny story is my blender wasn't working, and I didn't look at my teapot, or well, I use it for tea, but it's a coffee pot. I didn't look at it, right? So this thing also wasn't working, but I didn't realize, and I told my dad, it was still early in the morning, and I was like, oh, my blender's not working, and he said that he'd go on Amazon Prime and get me a new one, so he did. Love him to pieces, a brand new pink one. I think it's a Hamilton Beach. Had one of these before while I was in the service. It's a pretty good product. I think it was Hamilton Beach. Anyways, I got a pink one, and my old one is in my closet for backup, but I still haven't used this pink one. Again, being health conscious, I washed it immediately. Brand new plastic stuff can give you some weird residue in your first blend if you don't wash it out. So wash out your new appliances. A little advice from me. So what happened though is that I had to switch the breaker. Those of you that know more about electricity and power, is like the breaker box sometimes needs to be switched back and forth. I'm gonna turn on some lights and show it to you. But it had to be switched because the power had been out on that entire wall. So here is my breaker box. It sits underneath this beautiful little ditty that I have here. It says, gay go up, gay go down, the ring that bells of London town, bull's eyes and targets say the bells of St. Margaret's. Anyways, it goes on, and it's really cute. It's just, I don't know, I thought it was funny, and I'm in, didn't mean to drop you guys, but I am in San Francisco. It was just Gay Pride the other day, so I found that to be pretty entertaining. But I'm gonna open up my circuit box and show you the inside. So this is what a circuit box looks like, and over here it gives you like numbers and locations of like where the little switches change it. Doobie, what are you doing? Sometimes he eats his food too fast and he sounds like he's gonna hawk up a fur ball. It's like he must have like sucked food up his nose or something. But he'll get over it. Yeah, it's his thing. So anyway, circuit box. I had to switch a couple of those breakers to get that whole wall to work again. And turns out my blender wasn't broken. So again, I didn't end up throwing it down the recycle or the garbage. I wasn't sure. Do you guys know? Comment below. Let me know. What do you do with a broken blender? Like, I know like there's weird things with electronics and throwing them away, especially computers. What do you do with a blender? I don't know. So anywho, I got a new one thanks to my dad. He's the best. And now I have two, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with two. I even thought about putting it on Marketplace. If you guys use Marketplace on Facebook, it's pretty sweet. My sister the other day cleaned out her house and got rid of a bunch of purses, and she had ones that were like Dooney and Burke that she wanted to give to Goodwill, and when I saw them I was like, seriously? And so I took pictures of them, put them on Marketplace, and sold them for 20 bucks a piece. They were gone within an hour. Like, it took me 0 effort to get rid of those, and I made 40 bucks. Marketplace is pretty legit. So right now I'm looking for my paint. Oh, it's right here in the sink. I used it last night for my dinner. So I'm going to, ooh, and some of my cooked dinner is actually stuck underneath the stove here. Ooh, little bits of kale. I love kale. It's a very healthy green to get in. So I am going to cook some eggs. I guess I could put you on top of the fridge, but you can just see my face. Dude, out of there. But I'm going to take my littlest pan. I'm going to put 2 eggs in it, and I'm going to fry them up and like crack the yolk, and that's called hard. When you like, there's easy over, medium over, and then there's hard over. So I'm gonna do that with my eggs this morning. And I've got brand new, whoop, I covered up the camera. Oops, little thumb shot, little thumbnail, thumbnail. So I've got some eggs that are from, I wanna say got eggs from Petaluma, which is close to where I'm from. I am in San Francisco, but I'm from Sonoma County. I grew up in a small town called Healdsburg, and Petaluma is like the other side of the county. Like my hometown is the middle, and Petaluma is probably the furthest south. And they're from Petaluma. Check it out right there. Petaluma eggs, shop local, support those local teams. I'm gonna turn off this light too, it's a bit much. I think we've got enough with natural light. What do you think? Better? Yeah. Ooh, even the natural light. Let's check this out. That's actually a bit better because that was totally bright. And I am going to set you guys up over here so you can see me making my eggs. So back to the news I got this morning about the COVID. I heard the numbers doubled, and this is from the door people, like the people that work down below. There's a bunch of people that work in my building. Again, it's a government funded building, so there's like social workers and people, like there's just a ton of jobs for people, and it's almost like their office building. People that are in charge of free meals, people that are in charge of like community leading, because we're a little community here. I just put some of this avocado oil in my pan. I really like using other oils. I need to get some olive oil. That's something that I haven't had since moving into this apartment yet, because I've been being a bit more eccentric and getting other things. Another oil that I like using is grapeseed oil. And this is something that I prefer in like my body products or my face products. I think it's just an all-around good oil. Check out my website below for my product line. Some of them have grapeseed oil in them, but it is just a very overall healthy oil. And today I put avocado oil in the pan. I'm also gonna put a touch of salt. This is called seasoning the pan. So that's gonna get like a bit of the salt at the bottom of my eggs. Normally I would put a little bit of pepper, but I'm gonna get fancy and use some of my thyme. And just sprinkle that on the bottom of my pan. Just a touch will do. And then I'm gonna pick up my pan. I've got to turn on my oven special. My oven's actually got this like special thing on the side where I have to turn on the power, and it only gives me 2 hours. It's like some brand new technology. Again, I live in a brand new building, but they do this so that you can't like burn the whole place down. So now that my stove is on, I'm just working the oil around in my pan, in my seasoned pan, just to create like a non-stick over the entire surface. And then I'm gonna put it back on the stove to heat it up. I'm only gonna use 2 eggs. That's all I want. Like I was telling you before, normally I've been doing my shakes in the morning. I use my Arbonne protein shakes. They're pea protein with cranberry and a bunch of other natural sweeteners and things that are just very good and healthy. And I've been getting used to doing that. I was doing a 30-day cleanse, and I almost miss it right now, but I am gonna give myself a regular breakfast, because that way I'm done with my meal and I don't have to think about dinner, because that's been something that I've been thinking about more lately since I haven't been at home with my parents, is making dinner. And it's a bit easier to just cook a couple eggs, be over it, and then have the shakes the rest of the day. Sorry to disappoint you guys, I'm kind of lazy. There's not going to be a post tonight on my dinner because I'm making breakfast. So the pan is still heating up, and I want to make sure that it's plenty warm before putting the egg on there. And I've got my spatula and this fork. And this fork is actually going to be what pops the yolk and gives them the effect that they're hard when I flip them over. So I'm also gonna get out one of my plates. That's still got last night's dishes in the strainer. At least they're clean though. Hey, you gotta give it to me. I cleaned them. So I've got my plate for when the eggs are done. Yeah, the oil's plenty hot now. Okay, so you just take the egg and you crack it on the side of the plate. Just enough. Just enough. You don't have to crack it too hard, just enough so that it creates a bit of a dent. Then you're gonna put your finger into it slightly and pull both edges apart. Ta-da! That is how to easily crack an egg. Some people will show you how to do that with both hands. I am not that skilled. I've done it before, but there's also been times when I've tried it and there's been, ooh, this one's already cracked. Look at that. See, it's already cracked. I think I'm gonna throw it out. Yeah, I don't trust that. Let's get another egg. Let's get another egg. This one's good. Again, you guys, trying to give you tips about being healthy. So I'm not gonna do something that I consider to be unhealthy, like eating a previously cracked egg. I don't know what it does to it. Maybe it makes it more susceptible to having salmonella. I just know that from growing up with my parents that it is not a good idea when you go to the store, check your egg carton, make sure that none of them are already cracked. I'm washing my hands again because you want to wash your hands after, make sure that you're not getting salmonella. And just be careful because chicken products can carry salmonella. If you're not careful, you can get yourself really sick. And I also want to show you my dish soap. I picked this up from the corner store the other day. I go to this store called Gus's. It's either Gus or Gus's. Anyways, I went to Gus's and I got myself some soap. It's called Better Life, and it is honestly, like, the ingredient list on it. Again, I'm really into the ingredients and health. It's so much better, and I like the way it feels. It doesn't get overly bubbly like the products that I was using before. It's actually cleaning without creating a bunch of sulfates, and sulfates are something that we strongly don't like anymore. Like, they're removing them from a lot of products, and sulfates are just used to create bubbles. Like, it doesn't really have a purpose, it just makes bubbles. Okay, so got my eggs in the pan here. Check them out. I'm bringing them over here instead of bringing them over to you because they'll slip right out of the pan, but they're almost ready. I'm going to take my fork here and I'm going to make them hard by cracking the yolk. It doesn't take too much effort. Just crack the yolk with the fork and kind of spread it around. There we go. And then the other one, crack the yolk, spread it around. Ooh, it's bubbly. And then again, salmonella all up on this possibly, so we're gonna wash that off. I'm gonna put you guys back over here. And soon we're gonna flip those eggs over just as soon as I get the fork cleaned off. How do you guys like your eggs? Anybody like huge egg fans out there? I'm making them over hard today, but I really like scrambled. Scrambled is more my thing. Comment below, let me know what you guys like. I want to know about ya. Also, things that you want to see. I know how to bake, so if you guys want to watch me bake a cake, or that kind of takes a while. I'm gonna flip over these eggs. Ready? So I'm getting the spatula all the way under and lightly flipping them over. Bring you back over so you can see the result. And you can see that it's nice and seasoned too from previously seasoning the pan. Delicious. And it doesn't take much longer. Once you flip them over, you're basically done. Like, I can turn off the heat and be confident in the fact that they're cooked. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And again, my fancy oven, so I have to turn off my switch and press a button and it turns off the entire system. So like, I've disconnected power from my stove. And that is part of the safety that they provide here in my apartment. I'm also gonna take my soapy sponge and off my surface area. A lot of times I like to wait until my stove has cooled off to clean it. But right now I have little spills from egg, and again, like salmonella is a huge concern, so I want to clean it up right away. Trying to be as healthy as I can, people. But I spilled some of the yolk, like with the fork thing when I broke the yolk. Okay, now we're going to take the eggs and put them on the plate nice and easy. Another thing I was thinking about cooking was some of my peppers. So I think I'm gonna do that. In the evening when I make a meal, part of like the diet that I've been on is to create a sensible meal where you have like a quarter of your plate is protein and a half of it is greens and another quarter of it can be carbs, like good healthy carbs, something like quinoa, like a whole grain. But I'm not huge on carbs. Also, I'm gonna turn my stove back on because I'm gonna need to use it. I'm gonna use that same pan. Nothing went wrong with it. It's just still got some of that avocado oil left over. And I'm gonna cut up the remaining part of my pepper that I have here. My lovely green pepper, one of my favorite vegetables. It's up there with my kale lettuce. It's a very healthy, rich green that is more alkaline than acidic. And that's all I'm gonna do because I don't want to eat all that part. Ooh. It's not bad for you or anything, but that's the part like that they make spice out of. I think they toast them or something. I don't know how they get them spicier because they're not terribly spicy, but they take those seeds and that's the like pepper that you put on top of your pizzas. So anyways, I quartered it just to remove all the lovely green part that I want. And now I'm gonna cut it into strips and then cut it into squares. So about this big, bite size. And I'm just gonna go ahead and toss them into my pan as I get them cut. I'm not a fancy restaurant. I'm not gonna do like all the best prep work. I also don't have any knife training. This is just from being at home and wanting to eat certain things, so I taught myself. I'm also really lucky that I come from my dad and my grandma because they're both really good cooks. And it's like we have this intuitive thing that goes with cooking. We're not necessarily like recipe followers. Even though I'd like to follow recipes, if you have a good recipe for me, please leave a comment below and let me know. I'd love to try it out and show you guys. I do put up my recipes from my cakes. I've been making cakes with my protein powder and I've been sharing the recipe with you guys. So check that out. Also check into my product. I highly recommend doing a 30-day cleanse just starting out. You can get it as a value pack. You get a great deal. It actually saved me money on this month. Like I have at least $100 extra from my budget because of not going to the grocery store and giving myself 3 meals, because 2 meals a day are my protein shakes. So if you're somebody who's a bit strapped and you think you can't afford it, it's almost the opposite. It's helping me with my grocery bills. So check it out. I'm gonna leave my link down below. Also, if you're gonna get the value pack, becoming someone like me, like a consultant, will give you the best deal. And I'd love to talk to you about that kind of an opportunity. You're gonna use the products anyways. It's just an overall good deal. Sometimes people only do it for a year and we miss them. We wish you would stick around and support more people in healthy living choices, but that's your prerogative. Also, there's a 1-year membership called the Preferred Customer, and sometimes we're offering a special deal to give that to you for free, so you get a year membership on us. So please comment and find me on my social media where I'm putting the links down below, and we will get you taken care of. We want more people, again, doing that healthy living. So join us. My peppers are starting to sizzle, so I'm gonna take my spatula and stir them around a bit. So there was a little bit of the avocado oil left in the pan, so I'm not worried about putting in more oil. That'll just add to more calories. And I don't mind if these get a bit scorched. So what I am gonna do though is I'm going to add some of the salt, my 365 sea salt, and salt them up a little bit. Also earlier I added thyme to the eggs. I think I'm gonna add some sage to the peppers. I really like sage. Sage is one of those spices that goes really good on cooked carbs. Like it goes great with potatoes and it goes great with squash. But I'm gonna put some on my peppers and see what it tastes like today, just because why not? It's in my spice rack. Let's give it a try. Let's see if it tastes good. And a little bit goes a long way. There's a lot of flavor. I also have some rosemary here. Rosemary a lot of times is in Italian food. I think I'm gonna pass on it in my breakfast. But let's give it a try. That's how I became good at cooking, just by trying. At least I think I'm good. I hope you guys think I'm good at it. Trying. Anyways. So, as that cooks, I am going to get out my fork and my knife for my table. I'm gonna leave that for a minute. I'm gonna come over here to my table. I've got salt and pepper on it. It's always ready. And let's go ahead and make one of my fizzies. I don't have any more of my detox tea, so I can't make a tizzy today. Tizzies are tea and fizz sticks mixed together, but I do still have strawberry flavor and pomegranate flavor. I'm gonna go with pomegranate flavor. Yes. And here it is. Comes in a nice little pre-done package. And I've got my shaker bottle here, my Arbonne shaker bottle. Before I do that, I can smell these peppers. They're cooking. Stir them up a little bit. Maybe turn down the heat. Woo! They're jumping out of the pan. They're like Mexican jumping beans. Good thing I just washed the space so I can feel confident in throwing them back in the pan. Otherwise, those would be goners. Okay, back to my fizz. So I'm gonna open up my container, dump it into my shaker. I like to put the fizz stick in before putting in the water because it literally fizzes. Literally. I'm gonna fill it up with the water from my sink and fill it up almost all the way to the top. You can see there's like fizz on the top. I'm going to then take, ooh, I can add more water. There was a lot of fizz. It's like my imitation bubbly. We're just making a little brunch here. This is what my mock champagne glass, a little mimosa mocktail this morning. And then I'm gonna go ahead and shake it up, and sometimes that creates like an air pocket in here. There's something about the fizz stick where it literally like almost carbonates the water, and then it's got like an air pressure thing. Let's hear, see if you can hear it pop. How does it do that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, it's good though. All right, back to the peppers. They're getting a bit scorched, which is just how I like them. Not necessarily burnt, just like they've been on the grill for a bit. So I'm gonna turn them all the way off, but not take them off the stove. Turn off the stove. Let them do their thing for another second. I've already got my eggs done. Let's see what else we have in the fridge. What else would be good? Pesto? No. Cream cheese? No. Nut butter? No. I think we're like almost cleaned out the fridge. I probably should go to the store later. Gus is gonna get a visit. These peppers look amazing. Check them out. But they're still sizzling. Can you hear the sizzle? Can you smell them? Like smell-o-vision? Wafting. Yes. Delicious peppers. So again, I'm gonna just put them back down, let them cool off a little bit more. Normally I would clean my dishes, but because they're not covered in things that are gonna lead to salmonella, like there's no urgency in cleaning them. The only thing that I'm concerned about is putting a knife in my sink. That's something my dad taught me when I was young. Don't ever put sharp knives in your sink. Don't leave them there because it's a hazard. Like you go to do your dishes, you forget that there's a knife in there, and all of a sudden, like, surprise, there's a sharp knife. Don't leave knives in your sink. When you need to wash your knife, like, make it a priority. Just wash it, dry it, put it away. Just take care of it. So anyways, right now I'm breaking one of those rules. So before I feel even worse about it, what I'm going to do is take the knife out of the sink and put it on the side of the sink, so that it is like, FYI knife right here. I also have the sharp side pointed towards the wall. Hopefully that prevents me from hurting myself. I have been known to accidentally cut myself from time to time. Even, like, you can't see it, but I had to clip my nails the other day. I pulled one of those, like, baby moves where I cut myself with my own fingernail. Oopsie booby. All right, the peppers have stopped sizzling, so I think I'm gonna put them on my plate. Ooh, just dump them along the plate where the eggs aren't. Let's do this. I'm gonna leave my fizz for a minute, and we're gonna walk the plate to the table. My healthy, delicious breakfast. There we go. I'm gonna grab my fizz drink. Oh, I didn't explain the fizz drink. All I did was tell you it was pomegranate flavor. It's actually got a bunch of vitamins in it. It's really good for you. And the strawberry one has ginseng. The pomegranate one doesn't say it has ginseng, but I know it has a B12 and other things in it. So it's kind of like a replacement for those energy drinks that you can get on the go. And these ones are even easier. You can keep them in your pocket or your purse, your backpack, or wherever. And then you get fresh water wherever you go. Okay, so now I've got my breakfast. It's pretty good. Can't complain. Peppers are pretty good. Let's try the eggs. Yeah. These are great. I did some time in the service in the Navy, and while I was overseas I had issues with the eggs because I knew what was going on in the kitchen. These are so good. Sometimes there'd be green ones or they'd be previously cracked, like that one that I threw away. So I just got to the point of, like, not really wanting them, and we had scrambled eggs that came from powder, and I'd have those if I had eggs. And when we got back from being out on deployment, I was over it and was like, yeah, I'll get local eggs. But honestly, they tasted so different. They really do. Fresh produce in different parts of the United States, it's not the same thing. There's just not. And now that I'm back home and getting these fresh farm eggs from Petaluma, I can taste the difference. I really can. Well, I think I'm gonna finish eating my breakfast and check in with you guys another time. I really appreciate the time you spent with me today. Please like and subscribe. I have a new goal to be able to go live. So subscribe to my channel, watch my videos. I will keep posting. Leave me comments, let me know what you want to see. And hopefully you're all healthy, staying healthy and away from this pandemic. Stay positive. If you're really bored in the house, there's something called sophia.org. I have another video about it. Go ahead and check that out. And follow me, check out my links. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.